It has been so long and my path has been so dark. Of course I've survived.
What's howling, everybody? I'm Batwolf and happy May the 4th. If you clicked on this video, you probably know that at Star Wars Celebration this year, they announced that the Phantom Menace himself, Darth Maul, will finally be getting his own series on Disney Plus in 2026. Seeing as it's a year away, let's brainstorm some ideas that we want to see in this new series. With the geek facts out of the way, let's summon our rage and let us begin. When we were first introduced to Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace, he was in his mid to early 20s, and he had already gone through his Sith trials. There is so much about this character we don't know, and we could really learn by diving into his past. We've heard so much about Maul's past on Dathomir and being brought up to one day become Sidious' apprentice. Perhaps we can see his life as a Zabrak warrior, how he earned his tattoos, and his trials to become a Padawan. Thanks to the Clone Wars series, we've actually seen these trials up close. Imagine the emotional weight it would have on a child who would be sold off like a prized pig, then showing his progression through the years of training of a younger Palpatine and his master, Plagueis. As we know, it was only after Sidious became the Chancellor that he finally killed Darth Plagueis the Wise. Perhaps we can even see a teenage Maul growing into his saber skills as a barbarian-like Sith he became. Once Savage found Maul, this was by far his lowest point. Skinny, neurotic, dangerous. It would be so cool to see his descent into madness from the result of the Duel of Fates, and watch as he uses the Force to construct his spider-like form. While the Jedi are noble peacekeepers of the galaxy, there is just something so cool about the dark side of the Force. Maybe this series could shed some light on those more shadowy parts of the Force. Just as we don't know too much about Maul, there is still so much we don't know about the Sith, such as the extent of their alchemy, the way that they create life, and how their lightsaber styles differ from that of the Jedi. Of course, a lot of this is explained in the books and theories, but as they say, show don't tell. Since this is a series that focuses on a Sith Lord, why not throw in some fan favorite Sith lore and make it canon? I'd love to see Maul training his new apprentice and informing them of the tales of Darth Bane, Revan, Malgus, and how they made their conquest to build the legacy for the Sith. I have recently read the Book of Sith, where there is whole chapters dedicated to the Rule of Two, construction of the original Sith Empire, and even wild power of the Night Sisters. I believe Darth Maul is a perfect choice to take a nod to all of these things and have them apply to his own story. Now, to most fans, it seems that the Twi'lek apprentice could be the Sith from Legend Stories' Darth Talon. If this show succeeds, this could bring some light to her own series, and exploring the previously mentioned Sith Lords and their rise to power. Tales of the Sith, anyone? Now, I know we spoke about Mauls Past, so this is kind of cheating, but trust me, this story deserves a spot of its own. After Maul's defeat at the hands of his former master, Maul was kept prisoner and tortured by the likes of Sidious, Count Dooku, and General Grievous. Showing these exchanges would not only be a cool and must-see experience, but it would show how resilient Maul is in the face of ultimate power. If there's one thing that Maul craves, it's love and companionship, which I believe stems from his treatment of Sidious and being given up by his mother, Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin is a shaman and clan mother of the Night Sisters and is one of the major threats to Palpatine's future empire, hence why he kept Maul as prisoner. I'd like to see Maul's parentage revealed to him, and for the mother and son to have their reunion and war with the Sith Lord and his droid army. I won't go into how that ends, but man is it a doozy. The story is pretty cool and answers a lot of questions about the character. I highly suggest you check it out and read it. Now we know that in Star Wars Rebels' introduction to Maul, that his criminal empire had been brought to an end by the hands of the Sith.
The Sith took everything from me.
But what better way to end his reign than by giving him a face-off with his ultimate replacement, Darth Vader. Also settling the nerd debate of who would win in a fight by giving us a flashy, epic battle of anger, hate, and ultimately, suffering. Losing his power and being beaten by Vader would cause him to cast aside his title of Darth.
Formerly Darth, now just Maul.
This battle would leave Maul a fractured survivor, wanderer, hiding from the Inquisitors and the gaze of the Empire, by becoming the Lord of Shadows. Thank you all for watching, and a happy International Star Wars Day. Major shout out to my residential Maul expert, my fiance, Rachel, for helping me put this video together. Let me know in the comments how excited you guys are for this new series, and what are your theories as to what might happen in this next chapter in Maul's story. That said, may the Force be with you, and this is Batwolf, howling out.